Greetings. Information influence perception. In other words, to what information you've been given and you gravitate towards that information, it would mean what is your perception. In other words, how you see life. How do you think about yourself? How do you see yourself? How do you see the world? And how do you see others? And all of that is very important for you to know from a very young age. Because that's the time you can be easily influenced. That's the time you can be easily programmed. As a matter of fact, you're told that if you train up a child in a certain way, that when he becomes older, he would not depart from that way. But because many people do not understand how your perception can be influenced based on what information has been downloaded in your subconscious mind, many people give the wrong information or the wrong teaching to their children. And so many of us were raised to live in fear, doubt, guilt, shame, condemnation. We were raised to believe that we are not sufficient. We were raised to believe that we are wretched and we need a savior outside of ourselves. We were taught to believe that there is a Lord and a Master outside of ourselves. We were never raised to believe that we are the Lord and Master of our own destiny, because we have to be responsible for ourselves, for it is our own thoughts that is creating our reality and creating our personality. We were never raised to believe those things. So, you see, information that is kept away from you can also influence your perception. So, if you understand how the system is set up and how they want to always have a power differential in this world, you would realize that the rich will always teach their children how to become rich, while the middle class will teach their children how to become middle class, and the poor will teach their children how to become poor. Because most poor people will teach their children to go to school, get good grades, and then go look for a job. And that is the lowest way of earning wealth and riches on this planet. Okay? But when it comes to teaching our people to exchange information or ideas for money, and also to buy time, okay, by using money to buy yourself more time, which the rich do, many of us never get that kind of information. That information be kept away from us, okay, and many are destroyed for lack of knowledge. This knowledge is basically information, okay. So certain information have been passed down from generation to generation, from lip to ears. And then, if you want to hide something from certain people, you put it in a book. Because many people would not find the time to read or to learn anything for themselves. That is why people would hold to a certain belief all their life, because they do not like change. Change will make them feel uncomfortable. So my brother, my sister, when you realize that your perception can be influenced based on information, then you will know that you must never think that you know everything. You must always be willing to learn and realize that true self-realization is you realizing how much you do not know. So you always be seeking and seeking and seeking, and you become more wiser and wiser, because the more you learn, is the more you should put what you learn to practice in your life, because that's how you become more wise. And that is why, if you listen to me and you're a person been walking all your life, okay, and if you've been walking to earn, it is time for you to start to work to learn. So whatever job you're doing, don't just leave the job, but learn from it. Let it be a way of teaching you how you can become great, or how you can attract whatever you desire in your life and be your own boss, work with your own self, and so on. And you being an employee for a certain amount of time, you now can rearrange your mind And instead of being the employee for the rest of your life and waiting for retirement, you now become the employer. So my brothers and my sisters, our perception is influenced based on the kind of information that's been given to us. You see, if people understand what I'm saying concerning how information influences perception, they would realize why you have so much religious and superstitious people in the world. That you would realize why people would argue with me and call me crazy for saying that the Bible is a book of mind science, and they're using their own mind to disagree with me. They're using their own mind to call me crazy for saying that something is mental. Because why? They lack the principle of mentalism. And when you lack the principle of mentalism in your life, and you do not realize that thoughts become things and that we become what we think about most of the time, you will always blame a devil outside of yourself. You'll all be playing the blaming game. While we who understand the game, we play the game and we score in the goals because we know how to set goals and dreams and how to accomplish things in life, because we become conscious and deliberate creators, because we know that it is our own thoughts that is creating our outside life. Our outer environment is a reflection of our inner environment. We realize that there's truly a lot of correspondence. As it is within, so is it without. As it is above, so is it below. We understand that because we become observant. We look around and we look at nature and we allow nature to be our teacher instead of the governmental system that give us their kind of teacher with their own syllabus and their own agenda, and the religious system that give us certain teachers with their agenda, and the political system that give us certain teachers with their agenda also. So my brothers and my sisters, you have to learn to think for yourself, because you understand the power of information, how it could definitely influence your perception. So everybody in this world, the way how they perceive themselves is based on the results that they're getting in their life. Many times I go in the grocery and meet people complaining about the prices, and I always look at them and say, you are a Christian, you go to the church, and they always agree and tell me, yes, it is true. How do you know? By your perception, the things you say. I know how you live in your life, because I know what kind of seed have been sown in you. I know how you're thinking. Why? Because I've been there. So my brothers and my sisters, learn to think for yourself. But in order for you to do that, learn first to love yourself, believe in yourself, and embrace yourself. That is why I don't teach you to believe in me. I always teach you to put what I'm saying to work in your life. If it doesn't work, then you have no right to believe. But if it works, if you realize for your own self that it is your thoughts creating your outside life, your outside experiences, nobody could convince you otherwise. If you remember when you imagine yourself making 6 figures, and now you're making 6 figures, and you could definitely chase that back and realize that consciousness creates reality. Your awareness of being is what is creating your reality. You understand what they really mean by experience when they say that as a man thinketh in his heart. You know the heart not speaking about the heart and the pump blood around the body. You know it's speaking about your invisible self. You know it's speaking about the subconscious mind. You know it's speaking about the dreamer inside of you, the one that don't sleep. As you think in that world, so shall it be in this physical 3-dimensional world. When you know that by experience, nobody can convince you otherwise with their religious mentality and their religious saying and all the fear they want to bring upon you. No one can ever get through you when you have your own experience. So my brothers and my sisters, remember that knowledge will always influence your perception, information. So fill your mind with valuable information. Learn the power of positive thinking. Read good books. Do affirmation every day. Practice meditation. Practice visualization. But most of all, practice to live from inside out, not from outside in. Remember, cause and effect. Everything on the outside is the effect, but you are the cause of everything in your life. You are the creator, beholding the creation. You are the perceiver, beholding the perception. You are greater. You have the power. So my brother, my sisters, use that power wisely. Use it creatively. Use it for the upliftment of yourself and also the rest of humanity. Because actually everyone is you being pushed out. Just different version. Okay? Even the religious people all around the world. Okay? They are just another version of you in your lower self. Okay? And then there are those who reflect you also in your higher self. But everyone you see on the outside is a reflection of what you can be. Because it's only states of mind or states of consciousness. And whatever you allow to influence you will mean whatever state of consciousness or state of mind you will fall into, and you will produce the life. So thoughts are seed and your mind is a garden. And I can go on and on and on, but I'll come to a close here. So I want to thank you very much for listening to me. I want to say to you, if this is the very first time that you're listening to me, what I'm saying, if it makes sense to you, if it really resonates with you and you have a subscriber already, I definitely want to encourage you to subscribe, to like, to comment, and to share this video. Also, if you'd like to follow me on Instagram or you'd like to follow me on TikTok, you can definitely follow me at BlackMadGuru. And if you need to grab a hold of my books, if you need to grab a hold of all my works that are there to help you to grow and to expand, all of the links, they are all down below. After you finish listening to this video, I'll encourage you to check out all my links that are down below and let your intuition lead you and guide you into what to do. So with that being said, my brothers and my sisters, I just want to say peace, love you all, out.